Hi guys, Yiannis Christodoulou, 2019 European and National Triathlon Champion in my age group. And in today's video, I'm discussing why you should have a break from training and then come back at a later date. Welcome back to the channel guys, or welcome if you're new, and please like and subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment what you would like to see in the videos from me in the future. So firstly, thanks for watching. So onto the video, and I'm discussing today why it's important to have a break at least once a year, and why you should do this. So for me, I'm now having a 2-week break. Now I do this every year. Now the reason I do this every year because it has so many benefits. Now, firstly, you can't peak all year round. You can't really train all year round because you're going to get injured and your body's going to get tired. And it's important for you to recover and mentally prepare for next year. So for me, towards the end of the season, motivation is a struggle, and especially when you've got a few days left and you've got until your last race and you're not training for 2 weeks. Motivation is really important because that what really drives you to get your to train, get out there, get your targets, and to improve. So that's one key element, and to stay motivated, it's important mentally for you to have a break at some point or a couple of times a year. And I'm talking about a break, a complete break off training, and it helps you prepare for the following year. Now every season I have at least 7 to 10 days off. Normally it's 10 days, and a maximum of 2 weeks. Now the pros have longer. I mean, I was speaking to Gwen Jorgensen, and she told me when she had a triathlon season, at the end of the season, she would have a month off. Now, that got me thinking why, and then I looked into it and realised how the benefits of it, and all coaches, and I subscribe it to my athletes, and my coach Mark Shepherd as well tells me, nope, you need a break, and he tells me you must not train, and that's important. Like, you need to scale back and enjoy having some time off. So I would recommend 7 to 10 days off once a year, or 2 weeks maximum, and just do nothing. No stretching, rest, no training at all. Now that's important because, as I said, I touched on briefly, like motivation can go out the window, so you'll come back and you'll be really motivated. Well, I find that I come back and I'm really motivated to get going and build on my following season. So next season, I've got a hard season, ready, and some good goals. I want to be in the top 10 in the European Triathlon Sprint Championship in my age group. Well, to be honest, I want to be higher, but I'm aiming for a top 10, and I want to try and improve in this, and I'm looking forward to it. It's my debut. So motivation, that's my motivation, to keep training and to improve on the bike. So it's important to look back, reflect on what you did last year, and things that went right, things that went wrong, and then you can look to improve. So that's key things. And also mentally as well. Like, we've all been there, I've been there, when we've been out, and like, especially now when for me, when I was training for my last race and I knew I was having a break, just getting out there just to do like tapering for 30-minute run, I found it quite tough mentally. And we've all done it. We've gone out and we don't feel like it. And I know when we go out sometimes, I always say to myself, go out for 10 minutes, and if you don't feel like it, just come back. But you end up staying out longer. But of course, you need mentally, your body does will need to recover. So you need to recover and focus on something else. Now, of course, a rest is important because you can't peak all year round. Now, that's the biggest mistake people do. They start doing junk miles, they start doing like 20-mile runs constantly, and then they get injured. Now, of course, with rest, you'll recover and your body will be ready. And I always find when I come back off 2 weeks or whatever, 7 to 10 days, well, I normally find 10 days is probably the best go to 10 days minimum, and then when I come back, you feel like your body is new again and you feel like you can go again. And then when you start running or when you start cycling, you feel like, oh, I've missed this. And but you've had rest, not from injury, you've had rest because you want to recover and prepare for the following year or prepare for your other goal. And that's the biggest mistake people do, is that they are forced to rest because of the injury, and it's not really rest because you're actually recovering from an injury. And although you are technically resting, your body is still injured and it's repairing. Whereas if you have you're fine and you have the time out each year, then your body's going to thank you for that, and you'll be ready to improve for the to start your targets and improve try to improve for the following year. And I've always found that it's important, and I've done this since 2016 every year. Now I'm doing this again this year. I'm having 7 to 10 days rest, minimum of 7 days, as I said, and then 10 days rest, and then I'll see how my body feels. I might have two weeks, and I shall see. And then Mark Shepherd, my coach, has advised me on this, and I totally agree. And as I said, mentally, motivation, I'm lacking, and I need it, and I'm tired, and my body wants to repair. Now, after that, I'll do light training, and then when you do light training, I'm not talking about going back and doing like an hour easy, for example, on the bike. I may do 20 minutes, half hour max, and then build it up over the course of a couple of weeks, and then I continue that for another month. I'll have some volume training, and then until the end of the year, I'll probably work on volume, and then I'll start bringing the intensity back in January with with like intervals and stuff like that, and that's how I do it. So if I race early on in the year, I always do it as just training, just to see where I am. And like previous years, I would do a race. For example, I did a Canterbury 10 miler, and I was 2.5 minutes slower than my PB, and I knew that. But some people don't really. I knew where I was. I knew that I've only been training properly for say 6 weeks. 6 weeks of volume training. I haven't done any speed work. And then people say to me, "Oh, you've slowed down and stuff like that." But no, don't let that affect you, because the thing is, you are actually don't let anyone like affect your training. Now, what you remember, you are building and constantly. And then when I got into May, I was in peak shape, and then I had some easy training, and then I went back up again, and then I was in peak shape for September. So that's the way you should look at your training, is make sure you recover. And then, because for me, I can't pound anymore week in, week out, and I know that because I used to get injured quite a lot, and touch wood that I have not got many injuries from being able to have rest days regularly, and having a good recovery plan in place after the season, and even during the season as well. Like during this year with COVID, all my races were cancelled, and I knew, and this was back in May at the time, and I knew I might be able to race at the end of September, October. So my coach Mark Shepherd decided, no, I have 2 weeks light training, really easy training. I have more days off as well, which I did. And then I came back, and I was actually quite surprised that when we did test, how that where I was as well. So that's the sort of things that you should look at inside your training. So it's important that you have a break throughout the year, and especially after a season. And just because my season is a summer season mainly, doesn't mean that you need to follow that. You can have yours anytime. You can have it after your marathon, for example. So marathon seasons in the UK, were April before COVID. And you could you could have marathon, and you could have 2 weeks off after marathon. I mean, advise anyone that's doing a marathon, going for time, to have some time off. This allows your body to recover and repair and rebuild. So guys, what do you do? How much time do you have off during your season? Your off season. I'd like to know your thoughts on this, and what do you do? Rest up? Do you still go for walks? But I mean, rest means rest. So it'd be good to see to hear what you say. Please like and leave a comment, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thanks for watching, guys.
And the champions of this age group category, Henrietta Pasapic and Yiannis Christodoulou.
Christodoulou.